GDP, gross domestic product. Good news. Our GDP, the size of our economy, it grew about 2% last quarter on an annualized basis. Not bad, because the quarter before that, it only grew like a 0.5%. GDP is like the number one most important measurement we use to measure the size and performance of our economy. Let's dig in and see where this growth is coming from and if it's going to stick around. By the way, all these numbers were just released by the Bureau of Economic Analysis, the federal agency that collects all this data. I'll leave a link to their report and all their data in the comment section. GDP is made up of four spending economic activity components. Number one, there's consumer spending. Number two, there's investing. Number three, there's government spending. Number four is the impact of our international trade. You know, all the imports and exports. That gets calculated into the GPD number. Investment was the biggest driver of the GDP growth that we're experiencing right now. That includes business investment. And right now, there's a lot of business investment going on. Number one, for AI. They're buying all kinds of computer equipment and intellectual property, building these big data centers. That's all investment. That's all spending, economic activity that's driving GDP growth. Secondly, under investment, and also in this investment category, business inventories. It's been identified businesses are building up their emergency stocks. They're stocking their shelves with inputs that they need for production, and the retail shops are restocking all their doing this because they foresee a lot of price increases in the future. And then consumerism. That didn't go down, but it didn't go up a whole lot. This is the money that you and I spend every day for survival. We're still spending, but you know what? The spending increases is in the healthcare, not in the goods that we like to buy, you know, like food, cars, home electronics, the stuff that gives us a little bit of pleasure each day. That's not going up. International trade and its impact on GDP. Yeah, exports grew a bit, but imports grew even faster. And grown imports don't contribute to GDP. They actually bring it down because it's entering our economy, but we didn't make the stuff. We just imported it. Finally, government spending. It grew, but it grew on the back of last quarter where it didn't exist because of the government shutdown. There's the summary on what drove GDP in the first quarter of 26. But I want to add two comments to that. Number one, these numbers include inflation. That means that that it's the higher price of the goods that drove these numbers up. Not that we're buying more of these goods, but because they're costing us more. Secondly, these numbers might change. They may get more better, they may get more worse. Because every time they release GDP numbers, about 3-4 weeks later, they release revised numbers because they have more better information a month from now than they got today when they released these numbers. So we'll see. But so far, at least we got some economic growth going back. All right? It's not great. I hope you like my short little economic updates. And I keep them short because I know not everybody's into this shit. But I want to give you just what you need to know. This stuff impacts all of us. And it impacts us every day. So follow me, subscribe to me, like my videos, comment on them.